The Toronto Raptors are just one win away from their first ever NBA championship. What is going on, y'all? Fast Sports Talk. Back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA. If you're new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and subscribe by clicking the subscribe button down below and turn on my post notifications and follow me on my social media, my Twitter, my Instagram, links below for all of that. With that being said, here to talk about the Raptors winning Game 4 and taking a commanding 3-1 lead and just one win away, like I mentioned, from closing this thing out. So talking about what went right, wrong in Game 4 and moving forward, what's going to happen. So with that being said, let's get started. So we'll start with the beginning, okay? I came here in front of you guys before the series, and I had the Warriors winning this series in 6 games, right? Again, at that point, we thought Kevin Durant would be back, and of course, he hasn't returned since. And then after Game 3, I said, okay, the Raptors are winning this series, okay? I changed my prediction because, again, because of what I was seeing in this series and how things were going, and I feel so good about that right now because, again, a 2-1 lead, usually a series isn't over at that point. So, again, it was still, to me, a close call, but I switched my pick at that point because, again, I felt that much conviction in the Toronto Raptors, and boy, are they proving me right. Game 4 in the Oracle, after just beating the Warriors in Oracle, the Raptors, obviously having their back against the wall in terms of, not being able to have anybody predict them to win both games in Golden State, come out and do it, okay, on the backs of Kawhi Leonard, who is absolutely phenomenal. Another 35-plus point effort, 12 rebounds, 4 steals, and a block. Just he's been sensational in this series, and again, we get it. We get what Kawhi Leonard is. I've said it this year. His ascension into top 3 status is firmly solidified. Win or lose with this series, he's the top 3 player in the league, and you can absolutely make the argument now that he's the best player in the NBA, okay? So he was phenomenal. Serge Ibaka, huge off the bench, 20 points in just 22 minutes. Had 2 blocks as well. In the last 2 games, he's been a force on both ends of the court. But let's talk about the real issue here for the Raptors versus the Warriors. And it's obviously the fact that turnovers have been obviously in favor of Toronto. Toronto just doesn't turn the ball over. The Golden State's been sloppy with the ball. They've been turning it over a lot. And give credit to Toronto because their defense has been stifling the Golden State Warriors. And I believe Kawhi Leonard, after him, the main reason for them to obviously be ahead in this series is their phenomenal defense. Just been absolutely fantastic. Fred VanVleet guarding Steph Curry, Serge Ibaka, and Marc Gasol guarding the interior. Kawhi Leonard, guarding the perimeter. They've been phenomenal on the defense side of the ball. And now let's talk about the Warriors on the offensive end. Okay, Steph Curry, 9 for 22. He had 27 points, but just poor shooting and was so far from the player that he was in Game 3 when he dropped 47. Klay Thompson was really the only one going in this game at 28 points. Boogie Cousins, I mean, he's absolutely useless at this point. I don't even know what team would give Boogie Cousins anything more than the minimum at this point. He has been flat out awful outside of one decent game, but he's been awful, okay? And then Draymond Green, still a near triple-double, but again, turnovers. I think he had 6, okay, if I'm not mistaken. So just sloppy game for the Warriors. But here's the thing. I don't want to make excuses for Golden State. Kevin Durant or no Kevin Durant, this series should be more competitive for the Warriors because of the fact that, listen, I get it. Kevin Durant is, arguably one of the best players in the world and stuff, but you won a championship without Kevin Durant. You won 73 games without Kevin Durant. I get it. The depth isn't there, but you should not be, in a 3-1 hole and this dependent on KD. And maybe that's the case that we didn't see coming, that they've become this dependent on Kevin Durant, because at this point, it feels like the only thing that can save the Warriors is Kevin Durant. And that was one of the things I'm going to own up to as well, thinking that this Warriors team can win without Kevin Durant because of the fact that we saw it before. And here's the thing. They've gotten so dependent on KD that they probably do need him. So, again, obviously Kevin Durant in this series would have changed everything. But I don't believe he's going to return, folks. I just don't. They keep pushing his injury off, saying it's, day by day. He'll be back the next game. And it's literally getting to the point now where When is he going to return? I don't believe personally that Kevin Durant returns in the series. I think the injury is much worse than we are led on to believe, but that is just me. So what's going to happen now moving forward in this series? Well, I predicted the Raptors in 7 after I changed my prediction, so I'll stick by that. But it would not shock me at all for the Raptors to close this out in Toronto in Game 5, okay? Because for Golden State, they absolutely need to limit their turnovers. They absolutely need to find a way to guard Kawhi Leonard better because he's absolutely killing them. And they need to find a way to get their offense going because, like I said, they are not getting anything out of anybody but Steph and Klay, okay? So they need to obviously find their groove. But to me, I think Toronto wins this championship unless Kevin Durant somehow walks through that door at 100%. And at that point, wouldn't it be funny that the Warriors, who are the only team to blow a 3-1 lead in the NBA Finals, become the team that wins from a 3-1 deficit, okay? Because Kevin Durant returns in Game 5 and they don't lose another game this series. Boy, would that be, I wouldn't say fun, but that would be definitely interesting to see here, okay? So, again, I don't believe Kevin Durant returns, but let me know what you guys think. I think this series is over. I'm taking the Raptors to win in 7, but doesn't surprise me if they close it out next game in 5. That's just what I think. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.